Well, the British Prime Minister is known for his unusual speeches, but now both he and Liz Truss are completely insane. They just went nuts. Now Johnson has compared Ukraine's fight against Russia to Britain's exit from the EU. Boris Johnson sees parallels between the Ukrainians' fight against Russian dominance in their country and Britain's exit from the EU. He says, "I know that the instinct of the people of this country, like the people of Ukraine, is always to have the freedom to choose," Johnson said at his Conservative Party's spring conference in Blackpool, northwest of in England on Saturday. What's wrong with him? As an example for the comparison, he cited the narrow vote by the British for leaving the EU in 2016 with 52% of the votes. When people voted for Brexit in such large numbers, I don't think they did it because they were hostile to foreigners, but because they wanted to be free. And then he made a lengthy pause and said, "To do things differently and to be able to make my own decisions in this country." What an asshole, I'm sorry guys. And British Foreign Secretary Liz Truss was also drawn into questionable comparisons. In her speech in Blackpool, she mentioned Great Britain's support for British-Iranian dual nationals recently released from Iranian detention in the same breath as British attempts to renegotiate the Northern Ireland Protocol. I'm just angry. The protocol is intended to secure peace in the former civil war province and was negotiated and ratified by Great Britain as part of the Brexit agreement. But in an interview with The Times published on Saturday, Truss again threatened to partially override the protocol. In this case, a trade war between Great Britain and the EU is feared. And UK Foreign Secretary Liz Truss has told officials to move to the next stage of preparations to suspend parts of the post-Brexit deal for Northern Ireland, a move, as I said, that would inflame tensions with the European Union. Truss gave the instructions after becoming frustrated by the faltering talks with the EU over the future of the region, according to a person familiar with the matter who spoke on the condition of anonymity with the Times and some other media because the plans aren't public. Even so, the person said it's very unlikely the UK would suspend the deal in the short term. The preparations are a reflection of the divisions that remain between the UK and the EU over how to treat trade between Northern Ireland and the British mainland, despite their close cooperation over the war in Ukraine. Truss has been leading negotiations with the Union since December, but there has been no breakthrough. But in this case, Truss is behaving like Putin in his negotiations with Ukraine, if you like these comparisons. And the UK government argues that the Brexit deal hurts the region in the north of Ireland and is calling for reforms, while the EU says it's merely enforcing an agreement that the British government willingly signed. Suspending the Northern Ireland Protocol using the Article 16 mechanism, which allows either side to unilaterally break from parts of the agreement if it is causing negative social or economic consequences, would be a major escalation by the UK, and the EU has previously hinted it would impose retaliatory tariffs on Britain for doing so. And Truss's preference remains for a negotiated solution with the EU, but Britain is keeping all options on the table, they say. Well, Truss wants Britain and the EU to be focused on responding to Russia's invasion of Ukraine and is disappointed with negotiators and that they haven't been able to reach a pragmatic compromise in Northern Ireland. Well, there is no pragmatic demand from the British side here. Using the Article 16 clause was a prospect regularly threatened by David Frost, who led British negotiations with the EU until he resigned at the end of last year. And while Truss's arrival appeared to inject fresh vigour into the talks, the two sides have yet to show meaningful progress. There's still a big offer from the EU, but the UK doesn't care. The UK's primary complaint is that too many goods crossing from Britain into Northern Ireland are subject to EU customs checks, and that the frequency of checks is disproportionate to the threat to the goods they pause to the Union single market. Well, that's her opinion. Britain also wants to remove any influence of the European Court of Justice over Northern Ireland. Yeah, but it's EU internal market, you won't do that. The EU position is that Britain agreed to the customs checks on goods crossing the Irish Sea when it signed the Brexit deal, and that it won't budge on the role of the ECJ, which is the final arbiter of the single market rules that Northern Ireland remains subject to, and they stay in the customs union. And the EU made an offer where 80% of the checks with putting proper stickers on stuff and like that would reduce. But Britain, they have their maximum demands. That's why they started the thing with a comparison. They go for their maximum demands like somebody else we know at the moment. And I'll see you in my next video. Bis gleich.